Hi, I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and I'm here with representatives of Volunteer New York and members of the Westchester County Board of Legislators to remind everyone of a very special set of events that are coming up around the time of our 9/11 memorial commemorations. We all experienced what September 11th, 2001 was like, and what impact it had here in Westchester County, people that we knew that were involved that tragic day, and those that have been involved after that tragic day in trying to clean up Ground Zero and suffering various diseases. It's been a very difficult time for all of us to go through. But out of a dark moment comes a bright moment, and that bright moment comes from Volunteer New York and all of the efforts that they've made over the last 13 years to take this day of great tragedy and try to turn it into a day of public service. I'm joined here today by Jeanette Gisbert, who's Executive Director of Volunteer New York. She will speak next. Dan Singer, who is an event sponsor and one of the senior leaders, is with Robeson Oil as the CEO, one of the major corporations here in Westchester County. And I'm also joined by Vedat Gashi, who's the chair of the Board of Legislators, and Catherine Borgia, a legislator who's the immediate past chair of the board. And I'm going to ask each of them to share their thoughts. But Jeanette, who is in the heart of Action Central for all of these different projects, it is a wonderful effort, but it is a massive organization issue. And so, Jeanette, we're very appreciative of your leadership on behalf of Volunteer New York.
Thank you, County Executive. I really appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit more information about 9/11. Good afternoon. My name is Jeanette Gisbert. I'm the Executive Director at Volunteer New York, and it is my privilege to be here this afternoon. For almost 75 years, Volunteer New York has been mobilizing our community to address its greatest challenges. We envision a community that is vibrant, resilient, and equitable, and see volunteerism and civic engagement as important strategies to achieving this vision. Last year, Volunteer New York inspired more than 37,000 individuals and groups to volunteer throughout Westchester, Putnam, and Rockland counties. Combined, these volunteers contributed over 444,000 hours of service to more than 300 local nonprofit organizations at a value of over $15.7 million back to our community. This marks the 22nd anniversary of September 11th. After the September 11th tragedy, a group of families, 9/11 families, joined together to advocate for designating 9/11 as a national day of service and remembrance. Their goal was to annually rekindle the spirit of unity, service, and shared humanity that arose in the U.S. following 9/11. Today, the anniversary of 9/11 has been transformed into the largest annual day of service in the nation. For the past 13 years, Volunteer New York has taken that national call to action and coordinated a community-wide action day, providing our local community the opportunity to join thousands of individuals across the country as they honor the memory of those lost on 9/11. But as we get further and further away from the tragic day in 2001, fewer will remember the spirit of unity, togetherness, and compassion that arose in the immediate aftermath of that tragedy. Whether you were there or saw it on television or have learned about it in a classroom, this is a day that we must always remember. And so, 9/11 Serve and Remember is an opportunity to pause and do a good deed, to make a difference, to remember the power of what we can do together. We invite you to join us this September in the spirit of remembrance, in the spirit of community, and in the spirit of resilience and unity. This year, volunteer projects will be hosted at various locations throughout Westchester from September 8th to September 11th, including several at the Westchester County Center on Monday, September 11th. There are many family and youth-friendly projects available. These efforts would not be possible without the support of many local partners who understand the impact volunteerism has on our community. There's been no stronger supporter year after year of 9/11 from the business community other than Robeson Oil and the Singer family. They once again are this year's major sponsor. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge event sponsors, Empire City Casino by MGM Resorts, with additional thanks to project sponsors Levitt First and Webster Bank. In planning this year's event, we were privileged to once again collaborate with the county's exceptional communications team. We want to give a special acknowledgement to Catherine Chaffee and her team, including Joe Scamato, Chelsea Picano, and Volunteer New York alum Tony Fasciano. Their unwavering dedication to community and passion for their work has been instrumental in making this event a success. And by we, I absolutely do not mean me. Massive thanks to the Volunteer New York team, Nicole Lawrence, who leads the Volunteer New York effort, and Alex Acaro, who is our absolutely fantastic Director of Marketing and Communications. In observance of the 22nd annual anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, we and our partners invite you to help us honor the memories of those lost by joining your community for a day of unity, service, and remembrance. I hope you will join us to remember the power of what we can do together. All of the details and links to register can be found at volunteernewyork.org, or you can call us at 914-948-4452. Please register today, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Annette. And now we're going to ask Dan Singer, who is the CEO of Robeson Oil, major energy company here in Westchester County, and also the prime sponsor for this event, to share his thoughts. And we thank him for his corporate and personal philanthropy in this area. Dan.
Thank you, County Executive, and thank you, Jennifer, for all the great work that Volunteer New York is doing for this event and all, throughout the year around our community. And I refer to our community because we view this event and view our role as part of the community as neighbors. This is what we do for each other. It's not a question, this isn't a corporate sponsorship opportunity. This is an opportunity to come together with our neighbors and our friends and our family to get together. And in our office just this week, we were putting together the list of people that are going to be volunteering with us at the county center on Monday evening to pack packages. I believe that we're sending to our troops overseas who are looking for for gifts from home and reminders of home. And as we were talking about it in the office, I was reflecting, can't believe that it's been 22 years. And it struck me that this is one of those events, one of those times in our life that all of us, at least those of us of a certain age, remember where we were when child was born, parent passed away, day you're married, things of those kind of events, and of course this day. And I remember vividly someone coming into a meeting and telling, making an announcement that a plane had crashed into the tower, into one of the towers, and obviously the news unfolded after that. But what was more impactful, what resonates in my memory more than anything else, is what happens in the days after that. You remember the days after your child was born. You remember the days after the mourning period of a family member, and all of these are different life impacting experiences. And what I remember being struck by, and those of us that were glued to the news for the days after the towers were struck, is the heroism of the people that, while other people, we hear this cliche all the time, as most people were running out for their safety, we had brave volunteers, many of them, running into the buildings. They sacrificed their lives. Many of them, gave the ultimate sacrifice in search of hoping that they could save somebody else. And just recently, we were reminded too with frontline workers in the healthcare industry when we were going through the pandemic, people that tirelessly sacrificed literally their lives at times to help the community. Now we're asking people to give up a half an hour or an hour of their time to pack some boxes or to do some good deeds to help someone else. It seems almost trivial and so easy for us to do that we don't want to lose sight of that. Anybody that has an opportunity to help and be part of our community, to give back and honor not just the memories of those that we lost, but the memory of the heroes that sacrificed everything to give and to help others. Let's give and help others, and I really appreciate what Volunteer New York's doing to give us the opportunity to do that. So thank you for letting us be a part of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Dan Singer, Robeson Oil CEO. Two members of the Westchester County Board of Legislators, leaders on that board, are with us here today. I'd like for them to share their thoughts. First, to chair the Board of Legislators, the Honorable Vedat Gashi.
Thank you, County Executive. I think all of us remember where we were, and every year we remember those that were lost. But it is important and instructive to remember the reaction as well. And I remember me and friends in law school I remember that feeling of helplessness and fear and how we reacted to it. That day we went and donated blood to honor that legacy, that coming together, the community that makes this country great, I think, is an important and incredible thing to continue to be doing. And I'm so incredibly thankful to Volunteer New York and Robeson Oil and all the sponsors for coming together to do that. And honored to be here and a part of the volunteering. You know, the heartfelt words are important, but these deeds resonate in a greater fashion. I think are continue to help our community going forward. So honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
And next, County Legislator, immediate past Chair of the Board of Legislators, Catherine Borgia.
Thank you. Thank you, County Executive. I think that one of the most important things about volunteering, and this is a little secret, right, is that when you start volunteering, it helps you more than you're helping anyone else. The days after, my daughter, who's turning 25 tomorrow, was starting her first day at the Threes program in her nursery school, and my older daughter was in first grade. They do not remember this day. They are adults, but they do not remember this day. We remember how people were rushing. I remember in my home community of Ossining, the volunteer firefighters were arguing over who got to go down and who had to stay to protect our community. I was the PTA president. We got so many donations because we were worried that parents wouldn't be able to come home and kids would have to go back to the school. We got so many donations of water and blankets and non-perishable food. I think they just got rid of the last of them probably 2 years ago. There was so much stuff. And that's part of our humanity. The desire to help is in us. I'm so excited about this day every year because I hope that people will catch that bug, either remember if they remember what the days after 9/11 were like, but also new adults, new families, new children will realize that volunteering is actually one of the best things you can do for yourself, for your own soul, for your community. So thank you very much for organizing this. Thank you very much for sponsoring this. I love the work that Volunteer New York does. You're really a wonderful organization. And let's all make sure that when we go home this evening that we all register and do something on that day. And then maybe the next week and the next week and the next week also. There's plenty of volunteer opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our speakers, and particularly to Jeanette for her responsibilities in organizing this program over the last number of years. As a reminder, you can reach out to Volunteer New York to register your interest in being able to serve. You can do that online, and there's many opportunities which Jeanette's just spoken about. The opportunity to take a day of tragedy and turn it into a positive response to that, I think, is really what is most impressive and critical about this. And Dan and the Singer family's support of this is to try to take a narrative and make it a different narrative and a hopeful narrative rather than just the tragedy that happened that day. The things that we remember on that day are hard to shake out of our minds, but to try to see a future that could be better. And that better future comes from the volunteer work that this organization is going to do through a cluster of different programs and different services. So thank you for watching. We hope that you will be active. The programs actually begin a little before September 11th. They begin, I believe, on September 8th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday matter. And you can get more information by going online, and we hope you will do that. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. Thank you for watching.